It's my intention that anyone who has the necessary knowledge already, or is sufficiently close to a spiritual awakening at this time, will be woken up, or damn close, if they finish this video. And I mean all of it. And there are disclaimers. If you have religious beliefs that are against such notions, or a sense of panic at all, leave the video and don't look back. But I do warn you, you can't unhear the things I'm going to say. You unfortunately cannot lose levels of consciousness, so once this happens, it's done. And you only move on to see proof of it in your reality moving forward. That is your warning. Many people think they're awake, I did for a very long time, but are actually deeply asleep. Have you ever stopped to consider what that even means, to be asleep? Well, to paint the picture, let's reference the sleep that you know. And understand in knowing this, we will also explain all manifestation, law of attraction, all that stuff. It's all tied in. It will just click into place for you, as it did for me. You see, I'm not excited to talk about it because I know this will rile feathers. If I see them being riled the wrong way, I will delete this video with the quickness, so be warned. Think to when you sleep and you have a particularly vivid dream. Acknowledge now that there are people and worlds, situations and things that seem to be going on outside of your intention. And sometimes an entire narrative will play out in which you will feel the reality of it. But then when you wake, whew, it was just a dream. What I'm about to say is not new. It was first promulgated thousands of years ago by some of the most ancient gurus, and has just been passed down through the ages. It is just my turn to tell you. So acknowledge for a moment that everything in that dream that you saw, that you touched, that you experienced, that was moving beyond you, was all your consciousness. Every person, every plant, everything. And thank God that you woke into reality. Well, what if there were levels to reality? Each level more or less substantial than the last. Substantial meaning density, mass, and a perception of time. Well then, when you woke, couldn't it be said that you woke into another dream? No. What are you talking about? Everything here is always the same. I'm always the same person. And my life has continuity. The first notion, that you're always the same person. Is that always true? If this were the case, then you would always be you, right? No matter when or where you were. Can we acknowledge that in the dream state, that you are not you sometimes? If you've had vivid dreams in the past, acknowledge now that you haven't always been you in the dreams, have you? This body that you identify with. You've taken on different forms in the dream, which is why you believe such outlandish notions in the dream. This sense of self is not present there. And if you won't acknowledge that, at least acknowledge in the deep sleep state, this sense of self is certainly not there. So what is there? What is no matter what or where you are? This is what mystics will call the I am. Some of you may still be asleep listening to this right now, but this sentence should wake you up. In your consciousness right now, say I am. I am. Feel your awareness swell a little bit. Rather than this body, what if you were that? The raw awareness of everything happening. Because acknowledge that in your dreams, the body that you have there is just as much a part of the dream as anything else in it. You are just primarily focused on experiencing reality through the faculties given to you through the body. But what if you were to shut all of those off for a bit? Meditation, near-death experiences. Things should be starting to click there. This is what meditation invites you to do at the deepest level. Experience your I am. And I say your I am, but in this scenario it would be our I am, or my I am, or your I am. All the same. In many meditative schools of thoughts and disciplines, it is believed that we are all the same entity. It's even incorrect to say we are all. This is one thing. Experiencing itself in different fragments, from many angles, to know itself in all ways. If this is making you uncomfortable at all, I offer you again to leave now. We're not even halfway there. So too in this one is everything your consciousness. The screen you're looking at, me, the room around you, this entire body, all of it is your consciousness. And given enough time, it will take shape based on your estimations of it, your beliefs, and your raw state of emotion. This is why many people find success with their law of attraction and manifestation techniques, but also why many people fail at the same time. It's not just about what you think. Your thoughts are as much a part of this reality as anything else. It is about the composition of your I am, which many of you may not even feel right now without much meditation, but many people naturally have a gift for feeling it. It's like emotion, but it's more than that and extends beyond your body. You might remember a time when you were younger and Coca-Cola tasted different. Your favorite candy had a different kind of flavor, almost like the world had a different tint to it. That was the composition of your I am. And in these schools of thought, it will coalesce reality in accordance with its own form. This is why I said if you've ever lucid dreamed, this will just click for you. If you've ever woken up in a lucid dream and you were in a scary situation, for instance being chased by a dog, and you wake up and you say, "This is my dream, I will not run from you," and you truly are not afraid anymore, from that moment the dream changes. And based on whatever you want is what will happen next. Usually upon their first waking up, people will immediately choose the running away, which is whatever scares them runs away from them. However, in the dream state, these are just wisps of consciousness, requiring just your little pinky finger of intention to move reality. Whereas this reality that you know here requires large gusts of intention, or at least a steady duration of it. But most people focus for long periods of time on what they do not want. Wherever your attention goes is where your energy flows. And everything happens based on this consciousness. For instance, the only reason this video reached you is because you were ready for it. The way you've continued listening, the way you're really hearing me. This is for you. Again, these are not my words or teachings, but this whole thing would be then for us to know ourselves. And you would be like, well, what am I? What do I need to know? Well, it's been there the whole time. And if you ever take time to meditate, you'll feel it. And I may be able to give you a glimpse now if you ever meditated or if you have some sort of an affinity for it. But spoiler alert, you are peace, abundance, and love. Unconditional. Deeper than you even know the word. And if you're experiencing deep suffering, to resolve and turn this around quite significantly in somewhat of a short period of time, all you need do is relax into your wholeness. Relax and look at reality as if you had just woken up from a dream, from a lesser dream. Everything that's taken place and that bothers you, you just look at it and say, it was just reality. It was just waking. And sit with the feeling of wholeness. I am whole. I have everything I need. I am loved. I am enough. I don't ask you to believe me, I just ask you to try it. I don't know if this video is going to stay up, so if you saw this, it was just for you. Make a note in your notes app, and for the next week, for 5 minutes a day, when you wake up, take a moment to contemplate wholeness. What would it mean to be whole? And let go of all your problems as much as you can, and forgive anyone and everything involved. Remember, forgiveness is not about being nice to the other person, but allowing yourself to be free of the malevolence. Take a third-person view to your life. Sit back as an observer and watch this character, but do not associate with their issues. And feel the deep peace that comes along with that. Try it right now real quick. I am whole. I have everything I need. I am loved. I am love. Feel that. Feel that you are whole now. Anything that you feel you are missing, feel it is all here now. All abundance, all kindness, all joy, all love. What if it was just all here? You needed nothing else. Feel wholeness. Now, all I ask is for 5 minutes a day for the next week or so you do that if you're suffering deeply. And if you notice no significant changes in your reality, then throw this entire thing away. Call me a charlatan and block my account. But if you experience any changes or anything strange, anything that lines up with what we've talked about here, come back to my page and hop into Intention Academy at the top. I'll show you a few things that I've learned to get through this a lot less painfully. And do not be disheartened about the notion of this being a dream or anything. That doesn't make anything you experience any less real. It just may change the nature of how you may potentially interact with this whole thing. There's way more to go into, but I'll save that for Intention Academy and potentially future videos. But if this starts getting the attention that I think it might get, it'll just be an Intention Academy. And at the very least, it was a fun little tale. Happy dreaming!